Jay here for Stretford Paddock. Honestly, right, for one of the first times in my life, I think I'm actually speechless after that Manchester United game. I thought I'd seen it all as a United fan over the years, but genuinely, I have never, ever seen anything like that tonight. I've just got back from Old Trafford. My voice is killing, but I couldn't care less about that. My throat, sorry, is killing, not my voice. Your voice can't kill, can it? My voice is gone. My throat is killing, but I don't care. I'm absolutely buzzing that Manchester United have beaten Lyon 5-4. And we'll get into the nuts and bolts of the game. Yeah, we'll get into the bit about how we threw away a 2-goal lead and we almost went out against 10 men. We'll get into all that. But for the first part of this, I just want to savor the moment because that last 5 or 6 minutes or whatever it was of extra time was unbelievable. It is crazy, right? How bad United have been over the last, well, you could argue since Fergie retired, but certainly over the last year or so, we've been poor. We've been as poor as I've seen Manchester United, yet I have still had some of the best nights or best games as a fan over the last sort of 7 or 8 months that I've ever had as a United fan. I go back to that Liverpool game last season, the 4-3, go back to the FA Cup final, and this was right up there with any of them. This was right up there with any night I've had as a United fan. And that might sound melodramatic, because I've seen United win Champions Leagues and all the rest of it, but that night, those last 6 minutes, if I'm being honest, were unreal. The game itself, it's a Europa quarter final against an okay French team. We have to put a bit of context into that. I get it, yeah. I get we threw away a 2-goal lead after starting so well, and you thought the game was just going to be a bit of a stroll. And United, as United always do, find a way to mess things up. But to come back the way we did, basically, when it went to 4-2, my pal, I was in a Stretford end tonight, I was sitting somewhere different, I was with one of my oldest friends, and he was like, come on, man, let's just go. And we went down the concourse, and I was like, I was trying to sort of convince him, like, just wait. And then we got the penalty, right? So the penalty, we watched, well, I didn't watch it, obviously, I never watched penalties, on the screen. Then when that went in, we were back up, and there was loads of people that had done a similar thing. We all stood there, and like, I'm so glad we didn't leave. And then the atmosphere was pumping. Everyone was getting behind the team. Everyone was going for it. Kobbie Mainoo, I've said it before, I'll say it again. We cannot sell Kobbie Mainoo. Anyone who thinks we should sell Kobbie Mainoo is wrong. We have got to do everything we can to keep that lad. He's just a talent. And he gets his goal. Well done to him. Fantastic. The roof is raised off Old Trafford. You think, this is happening, this. We can win this. Never mind penalties. We can win this game. And then Harry Maguire, man, seriously. Because when I'm at the gate, it's always different in it because you haven't got the replays and all the rest of it. I might have been harsh, but I thought he could have done a bit better for at least 2 of the goals, maybe. And get involved in the chat and the comments and all that and let me know if I'm getting it wrong. But I thought he might have been a little bit all over the. I thought I can't remember which goal it was. It might have been the second one from Lyon where he seems to not react quick enough, or there's one where he ducks. I might be getting it all wrong anyway. But I was thinking in my head, he's not quite been at it as he should have been, Harry Maguire. But you can't fault him because he gets to the winning goal. I mean, I thought Ruben Amorim got it right. Just stick him up front and just go for it. Hoof the ball up. Forget tactics and tick-attack and all that nonsense and progressing the ball. Just hoof it. Get it on Slabhead's head and let him get you a goal. And he did that. And it was phenomenal. Honestly, the atmosphere at Old Trafford at the end there was unbelievable. Seriously. I don't repeat myself. I can't believe what I've just witnessed. I thought we were done. And then when we were done and dead and buried, right, you're thinking all sorts, aren't you? Thinking, we're not going to have European football next season, let alone Champions League football. We're not going to have any money to spend because we haven't got Champions League football. That's going to affect our finances. We're not going to be able to attract any players because we're not got in the Champions League. Now, don't get me wrong, I know we're not there yet, but this is all going through your mind when it's down at 4-2. Plus, we've thrown away a 2-goal lead against 10 men eventually from Lyon. Ruben Amorim's going to be under more pressure. A fan's going to start doubting him. A few people in my group chats would go, you know what? Ruben Amorim's got a lot of questions to answer here. You can't just keep saying, oh, we inherited a mess. People are going to start going, well, actually, is he actually the right guy? Not myself, but those sort of conversations were popping up when I checked my group messages. Like, oh, man, this is just, everything is horrible. All the players are going to be questioned. Everyone's going to be fed up. The season's done. What we're playing for to finish, 12th, aiming for 12th. That's not going to, keep United fans happy, is it? The possibilities that maybe we can scrape into the top 12 in the Premier League. All those things running through your mind. I was so deflated. I was so gutted. And then to come back the way we did, it's amazing how Manchester United can always do this. And it felt like, you know what? It felt like 99. And I know people go, oh, Jay, 99, we won a treble, we won the Champions League. Shut up. I get all that. But that feeling of can they score, they always score, name on the trophy. I was thinking all that madness when we got back into the game. And when Bruno scored that penalty, I was thinking, you know what? This could happen, this. And I know Lyon had that 10 men. But all they've got to do is hang on for, 5 minutes and the through. But we kept going. We did what we needed to do. And it was just fantastic. It was like the fans were up for it. Place was pumping. Ended up stood next to a lad who was there with his kid and was chatting because he recognised me from the channel. And it was just the atmosphere was mint. Some of my pals were there. Everything was just bouncing. And you saw the players at the end. You saw the way they were all celebrating. You saw Ruben Amorim, the way he was celebrating. And this is vindication for him, man, because had we lost that game, had we gone out, people would have been on his back. People would have been saying, oh, you know what? You need to answer some questions here. It's down to you as much as it's down to these players. Why can't you get a tune out of him? Why can't you keep a 2-goal lead? But he went for it in the way he thought was best. Just going for it, man. Just go for it. Forget anything else. Get that ball forward. And at one point, when Kobbie Mainoo sort of more or less up front, let's be honest, he was up front and you're like thinking, is this going to work? Kobbie Mainoo gets a goal. Adam Maguire's basically as a striker. He gets a goal. It works. It might not have been pretty. It might not have been the best football you've ever seen. It might not be all this wonderful, expansive, two-touch football that everyone loves about. I don't care. I don't care about any of that. We needed a win, and we got it. I didn't want it to go to penalties, man. I was thinking, don't let it go to penalties. We need to win this game because penalties is a bit of a lottery. You don't know what's going to happen, do you? You know, Matt, I just can't stand penalties anyway. We got that win. And you just feel like with a win like that, and I know it's melodramatic, but you think, could something be happening here? Could Manchester United actually end up winning this trophy? If Manchester United were to win the Europa League and get Champions League football and finish, 17th? That would be hilarious. It'd be devastating in many ways that we're finishing 17th or whatever, wherever we finish, but it'd actually be pretty hilarious if we'd end up in the Champions League. The one thing we'd have to do, though, is build on this, use it as a catalyst. I know we've said this so many times. I think I said it at the end of the FA Cup final in May. We have to turn this into something if we go all the way. If we go all the way to Bilbao and get that win, we need to make this matter. This could be the beginning of something. Fergie had it in 1990, didn't he? When everyone thought he was done for, he beat Nottingham Forest in the third round of the FA Cup, went on to win that trophy, and the rest is history. Ruben Amorim to win a trophy in his first season after being under pressure, after people downing him, after having so many poor results. Maybe that can be the catalyst for something. Maybe we can build on this. It could. It felt tonight when I was walking out of Old Trafford like this was something special. And I've seen a lot of things during my time as a United fan, but this felt like some of those moments we've had in the past, those great moments under Sir Alex Ferguson. It kind of felt a bit like that. Who knows? Get involved in the chat in the comments. I know there's not much analysis of the game. I can barely remember. It's a bit of a blur. We were good going forward. We were poor defensively. We need to do better. We do. But at least there's a few questions been answered tonight. One of the main questions is United side, no matter what, are fighting. They're fighting for this manager. They're fighting for the fans. They're fighting for each other, no matter how you look at it. Yes, we need to be better, but defensively especially. But we're still going forward. We're still in with a chance of making a Champions League, and we're still in the chance of picking up some silverware. It'd be fantastic to win the Europa League. And honestly, I just can't believe what I've witnessed, man. This club, man, they put you through it, don't they? They really do. But there's nothing on earth like being a Red, is there? I'm going to leave it there. Make sure you hit like, share, and subscribe. I'll be back in the morning with the news. I'm Jay Martin. This has been a review. Manchester United 5, Lyon 4. Thanks for watching.